You feel it deep within your spirit, the undeniable weight of a mission that cannot be ignored. You were not placed here by chance. Every step, every moment, every trial has been shaping you for this calling. The time for hesitation has ended. You carry a responsibility greater than yourself, and the world waits for your obedience. To turn away now would be to silence the very reason you were created. This is not about comfort or convenience. This is about destiny, about truth, about fulfilling what has been chosen for you. The mission begins now, with you. To understand your higher calling, you must first realize that it is not an idea, not a passing inspiration, not something imagined out of your own will. It is something greater, something that has been placed within you before you even knew how to give words to it. A higher calling is both a gift and a responsibility. It is a gift because it sets you apart, because it awakens you to a life that is not ordinary. It is a responsibility because it demands from you more than convenience, more than comfort, more than simply existing. You have been chosen for something that transcends the fleeting concerns of daily life. This is not about chasing approval, recognition, or worldly success. Your calling is about alignment with a deeper purpose that has been written into your very being. When you feel restless, when you feel the stirring that ordinary goals cannot satisfy, that is your spirit reminding you that you were created for more. Your higher calling does not leave you at peace with mediocrity. It compels you to rise, to stretch, to become what you were meant to be. And this calling is not general, it is specific. It is uniquely designed for you. No one else can live it. No one else can embody it. No one else can carry it out the way you can. It shapes your identity, your gifts, your struggles, and even your pain. Everything you have endured has been preparing you for this moment, for this mission. What you thought were accidents, delays, or failures were often the refining fires that forged your readiness. When you truly understand your higher calling, you see that it is not abstract. It is not a concept meant to be admired from a distance. It is living, it is urgent, and it demands action. You cannot place it on a shelf and return to it when life feels easier. It does not wait for your convenience. It knocks at the door of your soul relentlessly, reminding you that time is moving, that opportunities pass, and that lives may be touched or lost, depending on your response. Your higher calling is both your greatest honor and your greatest test. To recognize it is to step into truth. To ignore it is to deny the very reason for your existence. You cannot escape it, and you cannot delegate it. This is yours. This is real. This is now. Being chosen is not simply an honor you carry like a badge. It is not a crown placed on your head for display, nor is it a title that excuses you from effort. To be chosen is to be entrusted. It is the recognition that something within you has been set apart for a purpose. And with that recognition comes responsibility. Privilege without responsibility becomes corruption. But responsibility embraced becomes transformation, not only for you, but for every life your mission touches. You must understand that your calling comes with weight. To accept it means you accept accountability for how you live, what you choose, and whether you rise or retreat. To reject it does not free you from the consequences. It simply shifts them. For every action you delay, for every moment you choose convenience over obedience, something is left undone. Someone is left waiting. A door that only you could open remains shut. Responsibility means acknowledging that your decisions matter not only for your own journey, but for others who are connected to your mission. Excuses may whisper in your mind. They tell you that you are not ready, not worthy, not capable. They assure you that someone else will step up if you do not. But excuses are chains designed to keep you from stepping into the life you were meant to live. Recognizing your responsibility means refusing those chains, choosing instead to stand in courage. It means saying yes, even when fear is loud. It means acting when hesitation tries to anchor you. With responsibility comes the obligation to influence, to act, to lead by example. This is not leadership as the world defines it. It is not about authority, status, or recognition. It is about impact. It is about showing others what it means to answer a higher call with integrity and devotion. You influence by living out your mission, by making choices that align with purpose, by refusing to compromise when truth demands action. Responsibility is inseparable from your mission. You cannot separate being chosen from being accountable. If you are chosen, you are responsible. If you are responsible, you must act. This is the sacred balance. To accept the calling is to accept the duty. And while the weight may feel heavy, it is also the weight that strengthens you, the burden that gives your life meaning. To carry it is to step fully into who you were created to be. Time is not neutral. Every moment that passes either carries you closer to your mission or pulls you further from it. Waiting is dangerous because waiting is never passive. It is a choice, a decision to delay, to postpone, to hope for a more convenient moment. But there is no such thing as a perfect moment to step into your calling. Every delay carries with it unseen consequences, both for you and for those who are waiting for what only you can bring. The risks of hesitation are greater than you may realize. Opportunities are living things. They appear, they open, and they pass. If you ignore them, they may never return in the same way again. To delay action is to risk losing doors that will never reopen. You cannot assume that tomorrow will offer you the same chance, the same alignment, the same urgency. Tomorrow is not promised, and with each passing day, the cost of inaction grows heavier. But the cost is not only personal. Your mission does not exist in isolation. It is woven into the fabric of others' lives. Your obedience or your hesitation ripples outward. Someone's encouragement, someone's healing, someone's breakthrough may depend on you stepping forward now, not later. To delay is to leave others waiting in the dark for a light you were meant to carry. It is to risk leaving unfinished what only you were designed to complete. Hesitation often disguises itself as caution, as the desire to be fully prepared, as the excuse of someday. But hesitation is often fear in disguise, and fear grows stronger the longer you feed it with delay. The longer you wait, the louder the doubts become, the heavier the burden feels, and the more distant your mission seems. Every moment matters. You are living in a story that is unfolding right now, not years from now. To act with urgency is to respect the time you have been given, to honor the opportunities laid before you, and to acknowledge the weight of lives touched by your choices. The mission cannot wait, because the world cannot wait. Your time is now. You must never forget this truth. You are not walking this mission alone. Though the weight of your calling may feel overwhelming, there is a strength greater than your own that surrounds you, uplifts you, and carries you when your steps falter. Divine support has been woven into the very fabric of your journey. What feels impossible for you is entirely possible through the guidance of higher powers that have already prepared the path before you. There will be moments when you feel weak, uncertain, or afraid. There will be times when you question whether you have the courage to continue. It is in those moments that divine strength reveals itself most clearly. When your own resolve runs dry, faith becomes the well from which you draw. You do not have to rely solely on your limited strength. You can lean on the eternal source of wisdom and power that never fails, never grows weary, and never abandons those chosen for a mission. Look closely at your life, and you will see evidence of this support. Circumstances that aligned in ways you could not have planned. People who entered your life at the exact moment you needed encouragement or direction. Doors that opened unexpectedly when you had reached the end of your own effort. These are not coincidences. They are reminders that you are being guided, that forces greater than you are working in harmony to help you fulfill what has been placed within you. Divine support does not mean the road will be easy. It means the road will never be walked alone. It means that every obstacle has already been accounted for, every hardship already weighed, and every moment of weakness already supplied with the strength you need to endure. It means that while you may feel overwhelmed, you are always sustained, always equipped, always protected by something greater. To remain aligned with this guidance, you must cultivate spiritual practices that keep you connected. Prayer, meditation, stillness, and reflection are not optional. They are essential. They clear the noise of distraction, They strengthen your resolve, and they remind you daily of the source of your mission. Through them, you gain clarity when confusion threatens, peace when chaos surrounds, and courage when fear presses in. When you remember that you are not alone, your mission transforms from an impossible burden into a sacred partnership. You walk with confidence, knowing that heaven itself moves with you, and that every step forward is sustained by divine hands. Fear is often the first barrier that rises when you step toward your mission. It whispers in your ear that you will fail, that others will reject you, that you are unworthy of what you have been called to do. These whispers can feel convincing, and if left unchallenged, they can paralyze you. But fear, no matter how strong it seems, is not the truth. It is a shadow that disappears the moment you bring light to it. You must understand that fear itself is not the enemy. It is natural. It appears whenever you approach something greater than yourself, whenever you step into territory that demands growth. Fear signals that you are at the edge of something significant. The danger lies not in feeling fear, but in allowing fear to dictate your actions. When fear rules, hesitation follows. When fear is in control, your mission stalls. To overcome fear and doubt, you must shift your perspective. Failure does not define you. It refines you. Every setback teaches resilience. Every rejection clarifies direction. Every challenge strengthens your character. What feels like loss is often the very training that prepares you to carry your mission with greater wisdom and strength. You are not unworthy. Your calling itself is proof that you were chosen, that you are equipped, that you are capable. Spiritual reassurance reminds you that fear has no final authority. Faith is your anchor. Faith tells you that you are not alone, that divine support surrounds you, and that no obstacle can outweigh the purpose planted inside you. When you choose faith over fear, you are not denying the existence of difficulty. You are declaring that difficulty will not have the last word. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to act in spite of fear. Every time you take a step forward while fear presses against you, you strengthen the muscles of faith. You teach your mind and spirit that fear will not control you. Your doubts may scream, but they do not define you. What defines you is your willingness to rise, to trust, and to move forward anyway. That is courage. That is faith. That is how you overcome. Preparation is the bridge between knowing your mission and living it. Without preparation, even the strongest sense of calling can falter under the weight of distraction and challenge. To walk in your higher purpose, you must prepare yourself, mentally, spiritually, and practically, so that when the moment arrives, you are not caught unready but equipped and steadfast. The first step is focus. Focus means clearing away the unnecessary and aligning your mind with what matters most. Your attention is one of your greatest resources, and if it is scattered across trivial pursuits, your mission will suffer. Preparation requires you to evaluate where your time and energy are going, to cut off what drains you, and to invest in what strengthens you. Discipline flows out of this focus. Habits that bring order to your days, structure to your thoughts, and consistency to your actions. Equally important is aligning your daily actions with your higher purpose. Small choices shape great outcomes. Every conversation, every decision, every moment spent either draws you closer to your mission or pulls you further from it. Preparation means creating rhythms in your life where your actions reflect your calling. You cannot claim to serve a higher purpose while neglecting the steps that nurture it. Consistency in the small things builds resilience for the larger battles ahead. Mental readiness is forged through intentional growth. Train your mind to resist negativity, to replace doubt with determination, and to stay calm under pressure. This is where spiritual discipline becomes your foundation. Prayer opens your heart to guidance beyond yourself. Meditation calms the noise and creates space for clarity. Journaling captures insights, documents progress, and reminds you of lessons learned when discouragement strikes. Mentorship connects you to those who have walked paths of responsibility before you, offering wisdom and accountability. Resilience is not built in moments of ease, but in the preparation that takes place when no one else is watching. It is in your quiet commitment to discipline, in your willingness to rise early, to stay the course, to seek wisdom daily. Preparation transforms your mission from an overwhelming burden into a structured path. It builds the inner strength and outer habits that allow you to walk forward with confidence. To prepare for your mission is to honor it. It is to show that you take it seriously, that you value the responsibility placed in your hands. When you prepare, you declare with your actions that you are ready not only to begin, but to endure. The greatest missions are not fulfilled in a single leap. They begin with a single step. And while that step may seem small, its power lies in its ability to break inertia and set your life into motion. The first step transforms your mission from an idea into reality. It is proof that you are willing not only to believe, but to act. Your first step does not need to be grand or dramatic. It may be as simple as making a commitment in your heart, speaking your intention aloud, or sharing your decision with someone you trust. It could be beginning a practice of prayer each morning, setting aside time to reflect on your purpose, or writing down the actions you know you must take. It may be reaching out to a mentor, offering help to someone in need, or starting the very project you have delayed for too long. The step itself is less important than your willingness to take it. What matters most is courage. Courage is what carries you across the threshold of hesitation. When you decide, "I will no longer wait," you claim authority over fear and indecision. That moment of decisiveness ignites momentum, and momentum is the force that carries you forward when enthusiasm fades. Once you begin moving, each action becomes easier than the last. Practical examples of first steps might include creating a plan for your mission, committing to daily habits that reflect your higher calling, or starting with the smallest task that points in the right direction. If your mission involves service, your first step could be offering your time to someone who needs encouragement. If your mission involves creating, your first step could be producing one page, one sketch, one song, or one design. If your mission involves leadership, your first step could be reaching out to someone who needs guidance. Every small victory matters. Each time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you can. That proof builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum. Momentum builds transformation. One step becomes two, two become 10, and 10 become a life lived in alignment with your calling. Do not despise the small beginning. Every great mission starts this way. Your first step is waiting. Take it and watch the path unfold. Beginning your mission is powerful, but staying consistent is where transformation truly takes root. Inspiration can spark action, but only discipline sustains it. Your mission is not fulfilled in moments of passion alone. It is completed through daily commitment, through showing up even when motivation is absent, through the steady practice of obedience to your higher calling. Consistency requires structure. Discipline creates that structure. When you set routines that align with your purpose, you protect yourself from drifting. Daily rituals such as morning reflection, prayer, or meditation keep your focus anchored. Writing affirmations or reminders of your mission reinforces your direction when distractions try to pull you away. Establishing fixed times for work, rest, and spiritual renewal helps ensure that your energy is invested wisely, not wasted aimlessly. But focus is fragile, and distractions are relentless. The temptation to settle for comfort, to chase instant gratification, or to become consumed by noise will always be present. You must recognize these distractions for what they are: attempts to derail your mission. Preparation can set you on the path, but vigilance keeps you there. Guard your time, guard your thoughts, and guard your heart. Accountability is one of the greatest tools for consistency. Walking your mission alongside a mentor, a trusted friend, or a community that understands your purpose provides strength when your resolve weakens. Accountability partners remind you of your commitments, encourage you when you are weary, and challenge you when you drift. Isolation breeds weakness, but shared commitment builds endurance. Staying the course also requires vigilance against self-deception. You may convince yourself that small compromises do not matter, but small compromises often lead to great derailments. Remaining consistent means refusing to trade long-term purpose for short-term comfort. It means asking yourself daily, does this action align with my mission? As you cultivate discipline and focus, something remarkable happens. What once felt difficult becomes natural. What once required effort becomes second nature. Consistency breeds strength, and strength brings clarity. Over time, your mission no longer feels like a burden you carry. It becomes the very rhythm of your life, guiding you with unshakable direction. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is the foundation of greatness. To remain faithful in the small daily steps is to guarantee that your mission will not fade, but endure. When you fully commit to your mission, the first and most profound reward you experience is inner peace. The restlessness that once haunted you begins to fade, replaced by the assurance that you are walking the path you were created to walk. This peace is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of alignment. It is the quiet strength of knowing that your actions, your choices, and your life are in harmony with a higher purpose. Alongside peace comes joy, a joy that is deeper than temporary happiness. It is the joy of fulfillment, the joy of seeing your efforts touch lives, the joy of knowing that you are not wasting your days on pursuits that fade. This joy sustains you even in difficult seasons, reminding you that sacrifice is never wasted when it serves the greater mission. Transformation is another reward. As you live in obedience to your calling, you are reshaped from the inside out. Fear gives way to courage. Doubt is replaced with confidence. Weakness is turned into resilience. You do not simply fulfill a mission, you become a new creation through it. Every challenge you endure, every step you take, every act of faith refines you into the person you were always meant to be. There are also external rewards. Influence grows naturally when you live with authenticity and commitment. People respect those who live with conviction, who walk in integrity, who refuse to compromise their purpose. As you remain faithful, opportunities will arise, doors you could not have opened on your own. The right people will be drawn to your light, the right resources will align, and the impact of your mission will extend far beyond what you imagined. Yet the highest reward cannot be measured by influence, respect, or opportunity. The greatest reward is spiritual fulfillment, the deep satisfaction of knowing you are obedient to the call that was placed on your life. No recognition, no material success, no applause can compare to the assurance that you are living the life you were created for. This fulfillment anchors you, nourishes you, and sustains you through every season. The rewards of fulfilling your mission are many, but they all point back to one truth. When you choose obedience, you find yourself. And in finding yourself, you find peace, joy, and purpose beyond measure. Your mission is not only about you, it is about the countless lives that will be touched through your obedience. Every choice you make, every action you take, creates ripples that extend far beyond your immediate sight. The way you live your calling has the power to shape families, to strengthen communities, and to inspire generations yet to come. Consider the people closest to you. Your family, your friends, your co-workers, they are watching, even if silently. When you choose faith over fear, consistency over distraction, and courage over hesitation, you model what it means to live with purpose. Your example becomes a guiding light for those who may not yet recognize their own calling. Sometimes, the greatest gift you give others is the courage to believe in themselves because they saw you believe in yourself. Your mission also influences the larger community. Every act of service, every moment of leadership, every word spoken in truth creates impact that multiplies. Communities are changed not by distant heroes, but by ordinary people who decide to live with extraordinary purpose. When you step into your mission, you contribute to something larger than yourself, something that can outlast your own lifetime. The impact of your mission reaches beyond what you can see. There will be lives touched that you may never meet, people influenced by your words, actions, or creations long after you are gone. What may seem like a small act today can carry eternal consequences for someone else. A kind word, a moment of guidance, or a choice to stand firm in truth can alter the course of another person's life. This is why obedience matters. When you respond to your calling, you participate in a story much greater than your own. You become part of a chain of influence that stretches into eternity. And while you may not always see the results of your faithfulness, you can trust that every act of obedience leaves an imprint that cannot be erased. Reflecting on your impact brings clarity to your mission. It reminds you that your choices are not isolated. They echo, they multiply, they shape futures. And because of this, your calling is not just personal, it is a gift to the world. You have been reminded of your calling, shown the weight of responsibility, and assured of the guidance that surrounds you. Now it is time to embrace the truth. You already have everything you need to fulfill your mission. The gifts within you, the experiences that shaped you, the strength that sustains you, these are not accidents. They were given with purpose. You are equipped, you are capable, and you are chosen. The road ahead will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Every step you take in obedience builds strength. Every act of courage silences fear. Every moment of faith draws you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. You do not walk alone. Divine support surrounds you, urging you forward, aligning circumstances, and preparing the way. When you feel weak, you will be carried. When you feel uncertain, clarity will come. When you feel afraid, courage will rise. But you cannot wait. The time for hesitation is over. The mission is now. To delay is to risk what can never be regained. To act is to honor the gift of life and the responsibility of being chosen. The urgency is real, and the world cannot afford for you to remain silent or still. This is your moment to rise, to commit, to take the next step with confidence. Do not let fear chain you to inaction. Do not let doubt rob you of destiny. Stand firm in the knowledge that you were created for this very purpose. The call is clear. The responsibility is yours. The power is within you. So I urge you now, commit fully to your mission. Rise to the responsibility placed in your hands. Live with the urgency of one who knows that time is precious. Step forward with faith and let your obedience shape not only your life, but the lives of many. If this message has spoken to you, if you feel the weight of your calling, do not walk away unchanged. Subscribe, stay connected, and join this journey with others who are rising to their mission. Together, we move forward, stronger, bolder, and obedient to the call.